Guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today, if you're like me, you probably make a lot of barbecue, and that means you probably have some stuff that's left over and you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. So we're talking second meals out of a first cook. Now, I did a beef rib video recently, and I've got some smoked beef ribs left over. So what am I going to do with it? Well, today we're going to turn that smoked beef rib, or Dino rib, if you will, into some smoked beef rib mac and cheese. Let's get into it. All right, before we get started, I'm going to kind of go through what I'm going to be putting into my cheese sauce here. And we're starting off here. I've got some garlic and herb seasoning here. I've got some onion powder, some Italian seasoning, some dried mustard, a little smoked paprika, some garlic powder, salt and pepper, some dehydrated parsley, a little cream cheese is here, and then we've got our butter and our flour for our roux. We've got a little bit of panko breadcrumbs there, and we've got a couple of cups of milk. Now here we've got our corkscrew pasta. Very simple. Just follow the directions on your bag. All I did was just boil some water and season the water with some salt, and process my pasta till it was al dente, and now here we are. Now here we've got our 3 blends of cheese here. I've got some Colby Jack, some mild cheddar, as well as some mozzarella. Now you could absolutely use the pre-shredded stuff if you like, but I find that shredding your own cheese doesn't take a lot of time, and it does melt a lot better and makes for a more consistent sauce. All right, so first step here is we're going to get ready to build our roux here. Now we've got our cast iron dish here on our grill with our flame broil technology opened up here. We've got the flames underneath our cast iron, and we're going to get our butter in. Now this is what we're going to melt down to start our roux with here. We're going to do a mixture of butter and flour. So equal parts butter to equal parts flour, and that's how we're going to build our roux. All right, so now that we got our butter melted down, we're going to add in our flour. And at this point, we're just going to keep moving our flour around here, and we don't want it to burn. All right, so we've been going here for a little bit. I did add just a little bit more fat to my my roux here, just to help thin it out a little bit. I had it just a little thick there, and it's all good. We just adjust on the fly. But anyway, we've got this roux going here. We've been going for a couple of minutes, and basically you just want to kind of cook off the raw taste of the flour in your roux, and you want to make sure that you don't have any lumps. So that's why we're going to constantly move this around. And now we're ready to move on to the next step, and that's going to be to add our milk to this. Okay, now as you add your milk, you want to go a little bit at a time there, and you want to move it around because it's going to thicken up on you. And we don't want to have any lumps, so we're just going to keep moving this around. It's going to thicken up on us, and that's fine. You're just going to keep adding your milk in a little bit at a time, and the lumps will just work themselves out. So our sauce is coming along nicely, and now at this point, I want to start to get my seasoning into it. So all of our seasonings that we went over is what we're starting to add in here. All right, so now we got all of our seasonings in. We're just gonna kind of work this through here. And already smells really good. Now again, this is just something that I'm doing, guys. This is not your traditional. I know the flavors that I like whenever I make mac and cheese, and that's the basis of what I did here. All right, so we got some cream cheese that's gonna go in here. And we're gonna work that around here. All right, so at this point here, we're going to start to get some of our cheese put in here. We got that cream cheese broken down, and we're just going to go a little bit at a time here on our shredded cheeses. Give them time to melt down and kind of incorporate into this sauce. Okay, so we just got our first little handful of cheese in here, and we're just going to keep adding cheese and melting it down and just keep building this sauce, guys. And that's the name of the game. And now you're just going to season it up with your salt and pepper. I got a pinch of pepper here. We're going to go in here, or a pinch of salt there, and a pinch of pepper. And again, this is where you're just going to kind of, salt and pepper it up to your taste. And that's when you can call that cheese sauce done. All right, so here we've got some of that beautiful beef rib that I made here the other day. And man, I'm telling you, now you can look at this thing and you can tell why they call it brisket on a stick, right? All right, now I just heated it up just a little bit. It's not really that heated up, but it's heated up enough that I can kind of work with it here. And I'm just gonna take some of this and I'm just gonna chop it up into like really fine pieces here. And this is what's gonna be kind of worked right through our mac and cheese. All right, so we got some chopped there and I'm just kind of giving it a little bit more finer cut here. I'm not too concerned with it. I'm not gonna get like super fine with it or anything, but I just wanna be able to work some of it through the mac and cheese. All right, so now we got some that we're gonna work through our mac and cheese. And we still got this big honking piece here. So why not make some bigger pieces that we're gonna actually put on top to kind of garnish it. So we're gonna cut that into bigger pieces here. Kind of like burnt ends, if you will. All right, so here we've got our pasta here. And again, this is a corkscrew pasta that I'm using today because that's what I had. I know a lot of times it's always looked at that everybody uses elbow macaroni, and it's fine. Use whatever pasta you want. This is what I had today, so this is what I used. So we got our pasta here in our bowl, and we're gonna get this together. Now we're gonna add in our beef rib that we just chopped up there. Next up, we're gonna add our cheese sauce that we built there. And we're just gonna kind of mix this all together and get it ready so we can get it into a dish and get it onto the grill, because man, this is really smelling fantastic. All right, so we got our cast iron here ready. So we're just gonna start getting our mac and cheese into it, and we're just gonna fill this thing up. All right, we got our mac and cheese into our cast iron dish here, and we're just gonna finish getting this put together. I'm just kind of mashing it down here and kind of evenly distributing it all across this cast iron. Next up, I'm gonna put a little bit more of that shredded cheese from earlier. We're gonna kind of get some across the top here. And you can go as much or as little as you want here. Okay, next up, I'm gonna give it a little bit of panko here. Some panko breadcrumbs will give it just a good texture. And that's what I kind of like when I'm dealing with something like mac and cheese. Sometimes, you know, you can actually make a mushy mac and cheese if you overcook your pasta, but this panko does give a nice little texture there and a good little contrast and gives it a better mouthfeel. All right, so now we've got some panko and our shredded cheese on top of our mac and cheese here. So hey, let's get this back on the grill. All right, so back on the grill we go here. And one last thing I want to do is just give a good drizzle of olive oil there across the top. And that's going to help us kind of brown up our panko a little bit. All right, so there we go. We're on the grill here. We're going to run this at about 325 degrees and yeah, I'll bring you back when it's done. All right, guys, we got our mac and cheese here off the grill, and we got a nice little crust here on the top, and we got a good crust here going around the edges too. That thing was just bubbling while it was on the grill, so I know that's going to be good. Now, we've got our cut up beef rib here. That's like our burnt ends, if you will, that we cut when we were cutting up our beef rib earlier. And that's what we're going to kind of get on here to help kind of garnish up this this dish. We're just going to put a good pile of beef rib burnt ends here, just kind of right here in the middle of our dish here. And it kind of, you know, lets people know exactly what they're getting into. This ain't going to be your ordinary mac and cheese, so to speak. All right, so there we've got our beef rib or smoked beef rib mac and cheese. And man, this thing is smelling fantastic. And I'm really digging this crust. All right, so now that we got our burnt end, so to speak, put on here, we're going to finish it up and taste it. And I'm going to throw some basil in here just for a little garnish, just to give it a little greenery there to, you know, give a little contrast to the vision here. But man, this mac and cheese is smelling phenomenal. Like I said, oh yeah, we got a nice crust action going. Man, come on, dog. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we got a nice little crust action going on there. Man, this is gonna be a phenomenal bite, but hey, this is our smoked beef rib mac and cheese, guys. We're gonna go in for that taste test. Let's go. All right, cheers, guys. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, buddy. Okay, this is an awesome mac and cheese. Right off the bat, the first thing I'm getting is that crunch from the panko, that crust over the top, and then the crust that developed on the side. Y'all that bake cornbread and cast iron, you already know. That's the type of crust that's on here with this mac and cheese on the bottom. Man, look here. I am not going to be rude because I really want to get into this mac and cheese. And y'all don't need to see this because it ain't going to be pretty. But guys, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Smoked beef rib mac and cheese. Second meal. Let's go. Yeah, buddy.